Hey, welcome to Living Gaijin. I'm your girl Odile. And in our last video, we spoke about parental kidnapping not being a criminal offense here in Japan. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. So in today's video, I'm going to talk about in what cases is parental kidnapping actually a criminal offense? When is it that a parent can take a custodial parent or a non-custodial parent to court for taking their child? Stay tuned. Just before we get into that information, let's do a little recap about parental abduction here in Japan. Usually, the family law here in Japan is a little weak. Even though Japan has signed on to the Hague Convention, international treaties, there are still a lot of cases where parents are allowed or within rights to take a child from their residence or from overseas back to Japan, not giving the other parent any visitational right, or the court allowing another parent not to pay child support. And even if that custodial parent would have won a battle in court, ordering the other parent to make a payment of child support, there's hardly any enforcement. So, with that out of the way, let's talk about what cases is parental abduction a criminal offense. If a child is taken from their home with the use of force or coercion, then in that case, you can bring your partner or the other parent to court for parental abduction. So once you can prove that some kind of force was used and that there is a major disruption in the day-to-day life of your child, then you are one step ahead in bringing a case against that parent who would have taken your child without any notice or using force, literally grabbing the child away from you or manipulating the child or you into taking the child away from their usual residence. Yes, this also include cases where the child is actually forcibly taken away from your home country and brought back to Japan by the other parent, a relative, or even a friend. We have cases where friends actually take the child from their home and bring them back to Japan to the other parent or to a relative that lives here in Japan. And a lot of times parents do get away with it because how it's seen here in the laws is that if the child has Japanese nationality, then they have a right to be raised here in Japan. So therefore, there is almost an automatic custodialship given to the parent or the relative that would have taken the child here back to Japan. Okay, let's say you have full custody of your child in your home country, and for some reason your child was forcibly taken away from you while in that country. Then you can bring a case here in Japan against the individual that would have taken your child away from you. However, if your child was taken and you come back to Japan trying to re-abduct the child, guess what? You're gonna be the one in hot water, where you can be imprisoned for up to 2 years under hard labor, or you would be required to pay a large fine. So do not attempt to re-abduct your child if your child was forcibly taken away from you from your home country where you do have a custodial rights to your child. Because remember, international custodialships do not have strong merits here in Japan. Oftentimes the court are going to rule in favor of the Japanese parent, especially in the case where the child has Japanese citizenship. However, force was used. Again, the operative word is force. You can bring a case against that parent whom can face imprisonment or a large fine, as well as allowing you to claim full parental custodialship and allowing you to take your child back to your home country. So, the main condition under which criminal charges are usually brought against a parent for parental kidnapping is when force is used. So, if you can prove that, then you have a great chance of being awarded full parental custody of your child. And I know it sounds crazy, like, why can't we co-parent? If your partner refuses for you to be part of the child's life and they are the primary caregiver, then they have all rights here in Japan to determine whether or not you are given visitational right or any part custodialship. And that's it for Living Gaijin. Thank you for tuning in. If you have not already done so, go subscribe, like, share, and leave me a comment. When I know what you are interested in, what issues you're facing, then I will know exactly what content I can give you to answer your questions or to quell your worries, whatever it may be. So tune in next week to Living Gaijin.